Want some, get some, bad enough, take some. Want some, get some, bad enough, take some. Want some, get some, bad enough, take some.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 65 of FANGIN and BANGIN with Gangrel. And today I actually have Miss Anna Diaz in the studio, and she's looking a little beat
rough.
up. We got our purple shirts on, and for a good reason. It's November, the month of epilepsy awareness. Speaking of epilepsy, she took a face bump having a seizure the other day, and what'd you do? Fracture your skull, got some stitches, you had to place nose.
Fractured nose, yeah.
You got stitches in your forehead, the bridge of your nose, your lip, and the inside of your bottom lip. You didn't lose any teeth, did you? Let's see the girl.
No.
Here's your girl. Wow. Serious business. We did a like a PSA type of video earlier. It's probably up. You could probably run. You'll probably run across it, and I'm not sure when it'll go up in relevance to this episode here, but trying to get things caught up because I've been gone for a while. But are you all right? Are you feeling okay?
Yeah.
I mean, your face is super swollen. You're not icing it like you're supposed to.
I'm gonna when I get home, though.
You're going to.
I'm going.
Am I going to have to make you do it? Am I going to have to skip the gym and stay home and ice you?
No.
That sounded weird.
That
sounded
really
really
weird.
weird.
No,
Really weird. I'm going to stay home and ice you.
I'm
girl.
perfectly
like,
capable
what the hell? That's creepy.
of icing myself.
That even sounded weird.
Well,
I'm like, it's not as bad as Raymond attacking me when I brung up Great Babe. When I had a great, I thought I had all the purple on, right? So when we did the episodes, I had the Fabioso purple on, which I love that Fabioso shirt I got from a Budadine and Nisi. I love that Fabioso shirt. So, but I said I feel like Great Babe and all this purple and stuff, and Raymond said I was racist.
He says that about everything.
I think he's a conspiracy guy. He's trying to create conspiracies. Like I don't understand. I kind of Googled it to see if he was, and I saw like one person on a Twitter thing asked the same question: like, is Great Babe racist cartoon? Nobody replied to it. I don't think when I looked. I didn't research deeply, but I just think Raymond's trying to cause problems. That's one of my. I love that cartoon. He used to ride around on the van, the top of the van.
We did see that the Little Mermaid, right?
Well, one of the songs, Little Mermaid, and some, of course, a lot of
Mickey
the old
Mouse.
Mickey Mouse, the Alibaba, and the 40. Yeah, a lot of that stuff, yes, and Mammy, and yeah, all that stuff's justified. But I'm still he didn't even know who Great Babe was. He just threw that out there.
Yeah.
But I love Great Babe, but whatever. I'm just not gonna say nothing in front of Raymond no more. But
Yeah.
this guy.
It's probably best.
But how you're feeling okay though? We're gonna go home and ice. You're gonna ice yourself.
Yes, don't make me laugh. It hurts.
I'm going home. I'm gonna put my feet up and I'm gonna ice myself. Yeah, that's my best Barry White. That's not very good, right?
Yeah.
Anyway, you're alive. You're awake. You're above ground.
I'm
it's
in
November.
one piece.
It's Epilepsy Awareness Month. You're an epilepsy warrior, survivor, living with it daily, and you're doing all right. So check out. We talk about that whole experience on, I don't know what it'll be titled, Raymond. Will it be titled like PSA or something like that? Or
Epilepsy awareness.
it would probably be titled Epilepsy Awareness or something of that nature. So it's about 20 minutes. It's educational, very educational. So check that out, and we'd appreciate it. And wear purple, and please educate yourself on epilepsy and epilepsy awareness. It's made my life a lot easier being educated on it. I had no choice because I was baptism by fire. Living with somebody, baptism by fire, baby. Throw me right in. With you having daily and weekly seizures since I've known you, and the things you've overcome and the great things you've done. You've been able to become a pro wrestler, compete on a national TV, encourage young women and other men and young people out there and older people like me. You've inspired to have courage to chase and obtain dreams. They're not just dreams; they're goals that you can obtain and do, and you've done that. And now you found a new passion working with Epilepsy Alliance Florida, and you've committed your heart and soul into that, and you do amazing things there despite being sidetracked with a face bump seizure that of a type that you don't usually have, that just totally left you, like not, just unable to defend yourself, where you just take a face plant right there at the beach, from a beautiful day to a super sad day. But you were smiling through it all at the end, even when they were putting stitches in. Had a smile. And I guess you figure, what can you do?
Yeah.
But I don't want to walk a mile in your shoes. I already feel helpless seeing you, so I couldn't imagine if it was happening physically to me. Emotionally, I feel helpless, and my heart breaks for you. But you give me courage and strength to move forward, so thank you for being a warrior, and thank you, and te quiero. All right, so enough of that. Enough of this, although we're going to be looking at it all day. It's hard not to look at it. Your eyes are almost swollen shut, right?
Yeah. I'm
okay. All right. So, we've been gone. I've been gone for a while. It's been a crazy month. October, I did 21 events in 31 days, and it wasn't like it was 21 events in the same state and cities that are next to each other. It was like all over the place. From
weren't like all your flights delayed too?
No, the first half of the month was okay run. The second half of October was brutal. Well, the last 2 weekends in October, and then a week and into November, this first weekend was kind of rough. Lost bags. I landed in Memphis to wrestle, but my bags got there. I think 10 minutes I got to the building. I had somebody run to the airport, pick it up, and got to the building. 10 minutes I got dressed, ran to the ring, and literally was in my gear changing, going back to the airport again, because I had a flight out of there to get back to Florida for a show. So I was changing in the car, and then they lost my stuff going back to Florida. So in one day they got lost twice. Twice. But that's just LTD, living the dream, man. I'm blessed to be able to go out there and do what I do. And when I say I'm blessed, I am truly blessed, because last October, I don't know if you remember, that's when I had the they checked my knee out and said, hey, you need a knee replacement. You have no ACL, no PCL. And it's bone on bone, and you're bow-legged, and but you're only going to get one knee replacement because you're damaged so much of your bone underneath. It's crumbling, and your bone marrow is really thin in there, and they have to go down even further to attach the knee. So they're like, you walked in here, so obviously you can walk out of here. So we're going to, if you want, it's up to you. We can just put that new knee in next week or 2 weeks or whatever it was going to be. They would have scheduled it, but they said, let's... if you want, we could try to put a brace on there, like a fancy $900 brace or whatever. Thank goodness for insurance. But try to wear the brace and correct it, and then take the pain off. It was like an unloader type of thing where it unloads the pain off the joint, the bone on bone, and it caused that straightening me back up to 6'2" all of a sudden. Instead of that bow leg, it kicked out. My back went out, and it was the worst 4 months of my life. From mid-September through right up to the day before Christmas, and I got stem cell at BioResearch. Andrew and AJ Caprio, Doc Caprio, them up in New Jersey there with the stem cell on my back. I thought it was done. I had 3 epidurals. I couldn't barely get through shows. I was struggling, and I had a 13 show in a row last October that I had to make where I couldn't even walk. My back was so bad. I didn't sleep in a bed for 4 months. You remember that? I was slept on the couch for 4 months. Yeah, that was
terrible.
And then I got a little stem cells on my back. Thank you to them. It straightened me out. And then all this year I've been seeing Dr. Silva at Ultra Wellness in Deerfield, 1100 South Federal Highway. Ultra Wellness, they handle a little bit of everything in there, but they've been doing the PRP and my knee and my legs, my hamstrings, my shin, my quad, everything around the knee to build those muscles up so I don't carry so much pressure on my knee. So very minimal pain in my knee now. I mean, I could walk. When I walked the 5K the other day, I was
that's pushing it.
I was struggling on the concrete, but I could walk on the treadmill and do cardio now. And
that's great.
I'm getting through the airports, and I don't have sweat beating off my forehead from the pain. If I'm sweating, it's because it's hot, and I'm trying to get in that. If anybody's been in either Philly or Charlotte, if you have to go to the F gates in Philly from B, Ed is a haul if you don't realize there's a shuttle there that'll take you over. Or if you're in Charlotte and you're going to the ABC gates, but you got to go to E, it's just brutal. Like,
Damn airports.
And man, it's a walk, a marathon, and yeah, I'm doing great. So enough of my sad sorrows. I'm not face planting out in parking lots and all that. So.
But other than your knee, is your back better? Obviously from last October.
Well, I've been doing a lot of. I haven't been back to get stem cells again. I'm due for another treatment, and I didn't get up there. Fortunately, Dr. Cabrio, he got in a bad car accident and actually broke his neck and all that. But there were still other people that could do it. I just didn't get up there, but I need to get back up there. But I've been doing PRP in it, and my knee and my back here, and it seemed to help it. This week, actually, funny enough, this past 2 weeks, I haven't had a spasm or anything in my back, or I would.
Knocking on wood.
I'm gonna knock on my head. My back would spasms. Like I was in the ring and they were doing a cardio type of drills yesterday where everybody's in a corner and some people on the ropes running. And when they're all running in the corners, keeping their knees as high as the ropes, that ring bounces when you're standing in the center, like fussing at everybody. And that would cause back spasms. But yesterday, not one. Knock on wood. So feeling great. Getting all tuned up, getting ready for, we're going to go on a cruise. Yeah. So looking forward to that. I'm gonna try to read a book. I haven't read a book since like high school or something. So I don't know how many years ago that was. 30 years ago.
I'm supposed to find him a book. I'm recommending the Heroin Diaries from Nikki Sixx.
Yeah, I was thinking The Art of War.
The Art of War.
Yeah.
Do you have that one?
No, it's too big. I would have never got through it.
No.
I would have never got through the first chapter. No. Oh, Raymond has a book for me. What book do you have for me, Raymond?
Conspiracies and...
UFOs, aliens, what is it?
Yeah.
Grape Ape?
It's about the creation of this world.
Oh, he's going to say how the galaxies were fighting and they split everything up. I know where he's going with
this. That sounds interesting, actually. So, maybe.
I think I'm going to stick with the Nikki Sixx, the Heroin Diaries. Or, as Joey, TMD, put out there, Anna hasn't read the book that he lent her, Anthony Cadenas, from the Chili Peppers.
I have not, but I'm in the middle of a different book now, so I can't read.
His feelings are really, really hurt. I never heard a grown man almost cry. You shouldn't read my book, and I gave you that book with all my love.
I'm gonna read it. I'm gonna read it, Joey.
What's the name of it again?
I don't know.
It's a dude from the Chili Peppers, and I think it covers all his punk rock years coming up.
Biography and stuff.
But I'm sure it should be really interesting. But I might lean towards the Nikki Sixx Heroin Diaries. I might relate more with that or something. I don't know. I still have to go to like Walgreens, and I think I need to get the cheater glasses.
The cheater?
The reading glasses. I'm gonna have to be like one of those old men on there.
Oh, like you can get those at the dollar store.
Well, I'm gonna have to get them somewhere. I'm gonna have to.
What?
I think the time has come that I might need those to be able to.
Really?
Maybe. I can see things far away, but when it's like right here, it's an issue.
Yeah, I used to use reading glasses.
Yeah, so we'll see what's up. I'm gonna read something, whether it's the menu at the at the buffet. But we're looking forward to it. So on the cruise, though, actually, the first stop's the Bahamas, which I've been to the Bahamas, not missing much. But we're gonna do a Jeep excursion. So like you just caravan and Jeeps, Raymond. You're in a caravan and have lunch and then come back. So that's cool. I mean, Bahamas are cool, and then so we're there for that day, and then we're at sea all the next day, and then we get to Jamaica. But it's not like I don't feel like that you're in the natural, like Jamaica on your own. I think you're in a controlled environment by Royal Caribbean. And
okay.
But we're gonna go. I don't know if I'm gonna hike the waterfall, even though I said my knee's feeling good, but it might not feel good by the time I get up to the top of a slippery, wet waterfall and have to come down. So more than likely, when you're up in the top of the waterfall and you're looking down, I'll be that big fat blob down there in the sun going, I am a sun god. You know. Like,
well, you gotta get your tan on.
Gotta get my tan on.
Gotta stay
I'm a tan pyre. That's right, tan pyre. And then so from Jamaica we go to Haiti, which again, it's not like, I think it's a more controlled environment, but I think that day we're just gonna chill at a cabana on the beach and stuff like that.
That could be your reading day.
It'll be a reading day.
Yeah.
Maybe. Depends upon what's going on, but definitely an eating day.
That too, yes.
And then we're at sea all day. We come back. And we're back here Saturday morning. And I was going to take a show Saturday night because we get back in at 6 a.m. Mm-hmm. But I didn't. So I'm going to Try to just chill one
Gonna
more.
chill,
will
take a
that week.
chill
I'm gonna try.
pill.
I'm gonna
Okay.
try. But
Sounds good.
yeah, because coming off one crazy run, but I'm blessed. Got through October. I finished up the month of October in it's, England, Ireland. So I haven't been there in a while since the pandemic. So I flew from Miami to Charlotte, Charlotte to Dublin, Dublin to Birmingham, England. And so I get off in Birmingham, England, thinking I'm going to clear customs or immigrations or anything, and I just walk right out. Like, usually you can't get in there without showing 20 pieces of paperwork, your passport, anything. I just kind of walked off, like, are you kidding me? But I wasn't arguing it. Saved me some time. It was easy in and out.
Yeah.
So I did a show there. Immediately got back. I went right to the arena. Came back, was back on a plane to Dublin the next morning, which was a procedure because I haven't traveled international in a while, and I'm very spoiled with the TSA and clear, pre-check and clear here.
Yep. Yeah.
Very spoiled over there in Europe. They make you pull you get one little clear plastic bag so big, and you got to be able to fit every liquid in that. And you know how I am. So I was traveling with this guy.
With your gels and your whatever.
So one of the other wrestlers, one of the Irish wrestlers made a joke because when they grabbed my bag, because I just left I took my shaving kit out, put it aside, but it's all,
it's fine.
Like it's fine,
Yeah.
right? So I didn't even think about it, and then they started pulling it. And they at one point they had like 4 plastic bags full of stuff. Like they were looking for other wrestlers. Can you take this? And he goes, I always thought you just was a real vampire, but now I see all the products you do to stay. He was ribbing me because it was like, but it was just like stuff I accumulated over the years, like extra gel, extra this, and I just threw in my bag. And
it's also special products because some things you can only buy in certain areas. You can't just go and pick it up at Walmart.
My leave-in hair stuff, I cried when they took that. I was like,
Leave-in hair stuff. Oh my
they
God.
threw it out. They said you could only have gels that fit in one little bag. Like I had like 4 or 5
You're
bags.
leaving hair stuff. Oh, your gel?
No, the conditioner.
A leave-in conditioner.
A
You have
leave-in
to bring that with you?
Yes.
I've never even owned a leave-in conditioner.
Well, you're not going bald and have rough hair. It's been bleached for the 35 years of your wrestling career.
Anyway.
Yeah. You think I was a real blonde?
Well, no, because I've seen younger. I've seen young pictures where you have like brown hair.
Light brown, yeah, blonde, yeah.
I don't know why you went with the blonde. Blondes are just no. Real men aren't blonde. I'm sorry.
Real men aren't blonde.
Real men aren't blonde.
Well, that could be considered racist, no? Or some kind of, what would that be?
No, it's not. It's
well, you're obviously you're calling a man
okay.
blonde hair. You got blonde hair. You're not a real man.
So
now they could be born with blonde hair, blonde eyebrows, blonde whatever. They're not a real man.
this is my opinion.
No, you just prefer hairy, scary looking dudes.
No, I don't.
To see the guys you look at, they look like serial killers, and I'm like, oh my
They
god,
don't
I
look like
hope
serial
Anna doesn't
killers.
want to date this like 6'5" muscle freak with a beard
so
that looks
not
like.
true.
Yeah, okay.
What are you staring at now?
Whatever. Well, we come to determine real men aren't blonde, but vampires are. So
If you say so.
vampires. All right. Let's move on from that subject. Okay. We're gonna write that off as the fractured skull.
Oh yeah, I don't know what I'm saying. I'm just loony because of the skull. Yeah.
All right. So I got back to so I flew to Dublin, did a show in Dublin, and then drove to Belfast to the show. Amazing shows. They had great production. I don't know if people seen it online. Did you, Raymond? Did you see the flame thing? So.
I've seen recording. I'm gonna play here.
Yeah, so really cool entrances. Joey Capri over there, Over the Top Wrestling. So we ran those 3 shows, one in England and 2 in Ireland, Northern and Southern Ireland, and great shows, great
Super
crowds,
packed.
full houses. It was fun. It was good to be back. Looking forward. I think the other promoter, Brian Dixon's trying to get me to come back in February, but I was waiting to see if I can clear up one thing before I committed to that, but I got to get back to him and let him know. So more than likely I'll be back over in the UK in February for All-Star. Banging and banging, doing the thing. So in November, it's been good. Where was I at? I was in this past weekend. I flew. It was another weird travel day because I flew from here to Philly to Albany, New York, but then I got in a car and drove 3.5 hours to Vermont.
That's right.
St. Albans, Vermont. Wrestled in St. Albans, Vermont. Then drove 3.5 hours to Massachusetts, which was right by Boston Logan, which I should have just flew home out of Boston Logan. But they had me flying back home, so I drove after that show Saturday night back to Albany again, which is another 3 hours or something.
Were you the one
that.
driving?
No, there was somebody driving. I had 2 different drivers,
Oh,
2 different
gotcha.
like wrestlers on the shows. 2 cool guys, good conversations, but I didn't need that extra 6 hours in the car. Like,
Yeah.
But it was good shows, good houses. They were full too, a lot of fun. So and then here we are this week. What we got going on this week? We got CCW, Breakout. I'm gonna be. I believe I'm doing the Breakout show.
Nice.
I believe my Facebook has that up for the headline or whatever you call that. What do you call that? The shot you display or cover for on my
cover
Facebook.
photo, yeah.
So you can look that up there. You'll see that Breakouts right there in Pompano at the CCW Arena. And
You're also doing an open tryout, right?
open tryouts where they'll award, I believe it's a male and a female, a scholarship worth what $2,500, right? Something like that. But to attend the school, the academy, and so that's Saturday. I believe it starts at 2. Should be there by 1, but you should register online because I think it was filling up. But there may be spots if you still show up in person. But definitely, if you're interested in checking that out, go to CCW, Coastal Championship Wrestling. What else is it called? CCW Live? Or is it just Coastal Championship Wrestling? You can find that on their Facebook page. Coastal Championship Wrestling. I should know it. I run the school. It's my damn tryout. But
Do you enjoy doing the tryouts?
Sometimes. I do. I don't like picking a person. Like, I don't like the group of 20 people that are breaking their ass and sweating and all going through it. And if they complete it and they don't quit, you get at the end, I feel really torn. I would like to say, you all get it because you showed up. Great, awesome. But you can't because I run a school for somebody else. I'm just running the training of it. They have to pay the bills and this and this and that. So they can't just go like, hey, everybody gets it. I would because I don't like to choose one, and if everybody finished and made it through the day and they didn't quit and they all showed heart, I would like to give it to everybody. But that's the part I don't like about it. But it's great to see new faces, and some people just do it. They pay that little bit of money, whatever it is. I believe it might be $75. I'm not sure. I'd have to go back.
Month, yeah.
I'd have to go back and look at the detail. No, for the tryout itself.
To register.
Yeah.
Oh,
but
okay.
some
That's
people
not
do
bad.
it, and they get. You know what? It's a cheaper way of finding out if wrestling's for them or not in a quick, fast process. They get in the ring.
Absolutely.
They go through the processes of the training, and they can save themselves a lot of time and money by just doing that tryout to see if it's for them. It's a good way to get your feet wet and see if it's what it's for you or not. And check it out. So that's very cool. So we got a video. What we got? Oh yeah, here's the video of Diaz at Gangrel WWE. Look at that fancy.
Fire.
Look how cool they got the fire. Like Edge is probably jealous now. No, I doubt it, but he's not jealous. But that's very cool. They had very awesome production.
Spray.
Great crowd. The spray. I believe that is in. That's in. That there was that's the hardcore. That was in Belfast, I think. Wait, no, did I do the hardcore? Which one did I do? No, I think that that's a tag. So that was in Belfast.
Whoa.
Not Belfast. That was in Dublin at the National Arena.
That
or
looks
something.
yeah.
Yeah, I think that's Dublin. And there's Matt Cardona. Look at there. Matt, he's killing it, man. That dude is like one of the most over guys out there right now, everywhere. Cardona, what a great dude. He's trying to help me out with a lot of things. Him and Brian Myers. Some people might know him as Kurt Hawkins, but Brian Myers and Matt Cardona, 2 great guys. The Major Brothers. I'll remember them always as the Major Brothers from like Deep South or OVW, whichever one it was. But two amazing individuals. Couldn't be happier for them both. Matt's married to Chelsea Green, who's another amazing human being. And Brian's wife's, she's not in the wrestling business, but she might as well be. She's with him. But they got great kids, little redheaded babies. They're all ginger. It's a cute family, amazing family. But yeah, it was a fun show. And so I survived it. I survived October, but I missed the podcast. We weren't able to, I wasn't able to get in here. So here we are today, and I have no idea what's going on in the world of wrestling, which, when I go out, I don't think a lot of people listen to this, but then I'll go in Ireland and when I was in England, and then this weekend too, people come up and say, "I love the podcast," and then I started feeling guilty, going, "Ooh, I haven't been in the studio for about a month." So about 5 a.m. this morning, Raymond writes, "Hey, are you coming or something?" And I was gonna ignore him because I was up. I was like, I'll just write him like at 9 and say, I don't know, because you had that your incident where I was taking care of you, but I was like. Then I started thinking about those people that said, "Oh, I like listening to it and it's good," and it might have been only those 5 people that did it. They just happened to be there and see me and say hello, and they're the only 5 listening to it. But it made me feel guilty that I hadn't been in there, and I said, "Oh man, just get up and go do that." And
here you are.
And here we are. So now we're here, and I rambled on about all that. What do you want to talk about? No, I've already.
What do I want to talk about?
You want to talk about anything?
I don't know.
I'm sure Raymond's got notes.
What's going on in the world of women's wrestling?
As I said, I haven't watched a lot of wrestling, but what do we got? We got Paige is back in AEW, right?
Paige?
So I probably missed that. No, what's her name?
Soraya. Oh, okay.
All right, so she's there. Women's wrestling. What's going on, Raymond? You got any notes on women's wrestling?
Yeah, I mean, I wanted to mention.
Valerie. Remember Valerie?
Valerie.
Loretta, the girl that was training with me for a little bit. And then she went to NXT.
She debuted.
Oh, okay. She debuted in her first live event. It might have been a Battle Royal or something. What was it? Was it mixed tag? Well, she debuted in her first live match. So.
Oh, that's cool.
So something's going on for Valerie there, South Florida girl. She actually went to school with your brother, Andy.
Really?
They know her, yeah. They see me take a picture with her. They go, "How do you know Valerie?" Blah, 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 blah.
Huh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Small world.
Yeah. He was upset that he read about your social media too. You should call him. You talked to him, right?
I talked to him yesterday.
Good. Well, another story for another day. All right, so so she debuted. What else, Raymond?
Yeah, so Soraya versus Britt Baker at this weekend.
Also, Paige, Soraya versus Britt Baker this weekend. So she's cleared to wrestle?
Yeah.
Okay. See, I haven't really caught up with anything. I did see Crown Jewel, though.
Yeah.
I watched it in between me going to another show. I think I worked... I worked at Hialeah for CCW. Not Hialeah, the Bash of the Brew, where I worked that guy Abad, Puerto Rican dude Abad from Puerto Rico. Whatever.
I know what you're talking about.
The Crown Jewel came on at like noon, so call time wasn't until 4, so I watched it up till 4, and then I came home at night and watched the last match. But you watched some of it, didn't you?
I did, yeah.
Because your guy Drew, I noticed you like Drew McIntyre. You kept defending him when I said, "Man, look at those bushy eyebrows." She goes, "There's nothing wrong." Another big, scary individual.
He's not.
There's my point proven right there. Do I want to fight Drew McIntyre? I would, yes.
Is not
because I know him since I started with him.
Okay.
But he's grown into a beast of a man since the kid I wrestled.
This is not a conversation. This is not a conversation for now. Okay. But yes, I saw Drew McIntyre versus I forgot the other guy's name though.
Kieran Cross.
Yeah,
in the cage. Yeah. But so the Crown Jewel, it started out with Brock Lesnar and Bobby Lashley, and Bobby Lashley jump-started the match, came out. I mean, and it seems like Brock Lesnar's having different matches. It looks like he's having fun wrestling now. I don't know Brock personally, but just from watching it looks like all his matches are a little bit different now. It doesn't like it's not running the same exact matches. This one was different where Bobby came out and shoved him into the stairs. I'm trying to go by my memory because I haven't watched anything since that day. But he got on him, boom, boom, boom. Bobby dominated for a minute and then hit like 3 or 4 or 5 spears or some shit through the wall. Boom, boom, boom. He's on him. Brock turned around, hit an F5 or whatever he calls his gimmick. Boom. Something. Bobby Lashley turned it back around again. He was dominating. And then they did the old Bret. Was it the Bret Hart show? I don't know which one, the finish where he had the hurt lock on, push back, and he's in the full Nelson, and there's the 1, 2, 3, and Brock Lesnar won, and Bobby's back on him. So I mean, that's your opening match on a pay-per-view. That must be a hell of a pay-per-view. What happened from there? What was the next lineup, Raymond? I'm going by memory, and I was watching it, getting ready for a show. Bianca and who? That wasn't the second match though. Was it?
Yeah, no, that wasn't the second match because I was watching it. And I think there was a women's tag. There was a
women's tag, and there was a Bayley last woman standing with Bianca, which that's a hard one to pull. Last woman standing. When the golf cart came in, and, out of all the matches, that was the only one that and I love Bianca Belair, you know that. But that was a tough match to pull off. For me, that was a little bit of a little low in the pay-per-view. But what's his name? Logan Paul? Is that his name? Oh.
Yeah.
Now, people are dogging him, going, he wouldn't, because he's going, it's obviously called, the match with him and Roman Reigns, well, it's obviously move to move, but that to be his third match ever in professional wrestling in a live crowd was a main event against Roman Reigns. So that guy's a blue. He's an amazing athlete and talented. He looks good. His gear's good. He has the charisma. He gets it. And and I've said it before about him. He's definitely a star. He didn't he box Mayweather? I don't know if it was a work or not, but still, he was in the ring with Mayweather. He can do amazing things. But in professional wrestling, I think he's got a future if he wants to stick with it. He's really good, and I enjoyed it. I accepted it for what it was because I know the amount of experience he has. So there's not going to be these great working transitions
of course, yeah.
It's storytelling. Stuff, but Roman, you got to give Roman Reigns credit to, carry that match too. That's a lot on Roman. So it was entertaining. It wasn't a letdown. The pay per view wasn't a letdown at all. I don't think. I think it was a good pay per view. I enjoyed it. What was the matches, Raymond? You
saw your boy Matt Riddle too, though.
Was he on there? No, I didn't see him.
Yeah, Matt Riddle versus.
I might have missed that match.
Oh, I forgot who it was, but.
I didn't see him. Damian Priest. It was Rey Mysterio, Damian Priest, and
Braun Strowman versus Omos.
Oh, Braun and Omos.
Oh, yeah.
Which Omos has really gotten better. Really has. That was another one where Omos dominated and Braun Strowman caught him with a power slam out of nowhere, a hard buckle power slam or splash power slam or something in a buckle. But it wasn't bad. Omos has really come on. I don't know why MVP wasn't there. Maybe it was because of his background. Maybe that he wasn't over there. What else was on there? But that was good. I didn't dislike that match. So you had giants on there. You had Bobby Lashley, Brock Lesnar, and you had Omos versus Strowman. Look at it, four bigger than life gladiators.
AJ Styles, Carl Anderson, and Luke Gallows versus the Judgment Day.
Right. So this is what I love about WWE. I have been busy all month of October, right? So this swamp, hell, I didn't even know Gallows and them are back. I heard the TNA thing that they didn't renew with them or whatever the deal was. I had no idea they were even back. But WWE is so good at video packaging. I already understood the story for missing a month or two. I turned it on the pay-per-view. They educated me so quick, much like you.
Yeah,
educating with the epilepsy awareness thing, educating people. They educated me so quick that I didn't feel like I missed a beat, even though I went, whoa, Gallows is back? And I'm friends with him, and I didn't know he was back.
You can still understand what's going on.
Because it was AJ and the Bullet Club, they told that they broke it down. So I didn't miss a beat. So, good stuff, man. No, I like the pay-per-view overall. I think... I enjoyed it. There was I believe there was a women's tag match, is what you were talking about earlier.
Yeah.
There was a women's tag. That might have been the second match or the third match, but.
It was Osaka, Alexa Bliss, and Damage Control.
Damage Control, yeah. Oh, and then there was a Bray Wyatt interview right before the main event. Bray Wyatt, and a lot of people. I don't know where people stand on the Bray Wyatt thing. I dug that promo. I liked it in a way because, I'm a vampire, so. Bray Wyatt came out, pretty much tried to lead you to believe that he's seen error in his ways. He chose to wear the mask, which alienated him and put him in a kingdom alone by himself, basically, or whatever. I can't remember the exact wording, but and he realizes that, but he's Bray Wyatt, and he says his name 3 times. I'm Bray Wyatt, whatever. Trying to be this babyface, saying he came from this great wrestling family. He had to be better than them, so that's why he went the route he did, and yada yada. Then when he goes to leave, the video package comes up, and it's someone talking to him, whether it's himself talking to him or some other dark presence talking to him, whatever you want to believe or whatever your imagination wants to take you. So it's capturing. So he's doing his own storyline with himself, but I dug that too. I actually dug it too.
Kind of interesting.
Yeah, no, it was cool. I was cool. So. That's the only wrestling I got to see. I don't really know what's going on. I don't even know all the gossip with the investigation with CM Punk and the Young Bucks and Ace Steel getting let go. There's all this other stuff going on, but I really can't really give you my educated opinion on anything because I didn't really. I was so busy I couldn't keep track of it, and excuse me. I didn't even think I was gonna get in here this morning until 5:30 when Raymond was like writing me at 5:30. Like, your mom happened to be up in the gym and the phone's going like, oh. It was actually 5 a.m. I think when Raymond wrote the first one. I'm like, oh, I think I responded at 5:30. I was like, all right, yeah, like, do the podcast. But here we are trying to get through it, make it through it today, and then hopefully I'll get a little bit more educated on some wrestling by the time we do the next one. Because some people told me, oh, we actually like when you talk wrestling. Some people like when you tell stories. So you only can tell stories so many times before they get bored of telling you. But I did talk to somebody. I'm thinking about going ahead and pulling that trigger on writing a book. Because this weekend I was working with one of the guys. He was managing, and he's done. He did Kamala's book. He just did Aldo Montoya's book, P.J. Walker, Aldo Montoya. You know what I'm talking about. What was he called then? P.J. Walker, I guess that's what they call him at ECW. He did a few of the wrestlers' books and stuff. And he's like, hey, we ever going to write that book? Let's sit together and do your book. Because you had reached out when I first mentioned like 4 years ago, oh, I'm going to write a book. And John Crowder, who did the graphic novel, this one here. Oh, gosh. Oh, I look like Great Babe, the belly button. This one here. So Gangrel, the Vampire Warrior.
That's a good one.
Which leads up to me getting in wrestling. So it's kind of a start, really, on writing a book. So you could take some of this here, and then I fill in all the bits and pieces that was too much to put in here. But, John Crowder did this, and make sure it was John. It was John, yeah. Did this, and he had recommended Kenny Casanova, who is who I'm talking about, Kenny Casanova. And he's done, got a lot of books under his belt, like, probably done 10 wrestlers books or something like that.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah. So the cruise would have been ideal to do it. I could have just sat back because really the only time I remember my past is when I'm drinking because I was pretty sure I was drunk my whole wrestling career to the last 5 years.
Makes sense.
So
well,
I thought the cruise I could have sat there and dictated. I could have had you take notes or held the tape recorder. We could have went. But you would have been. You probably wanted to jump off the side of the ship after.
Or you can even write like journal some story. What?
I could write, but the problem with me writing is I can't read my writing a day later.
Well,
because I used to pull over and go, oh, I got a great idea for this wrestling, and then I would get to wherever I was going, and I go back to look at this idea, and I had no idea what I wrote.
But
I couldn't read my own writing. I couldn't make it out.
You need to make it legible so that you can read it.
Well, I thought it was.
Or or you can type it. You can type it.
I guess carry this big ass old school typewriter around.
No, you have a tablet that you don't even. A tablet.
Pills?
You have pills too, but we're not talking about those. No, you're a tablet. Like your
oh, that shit your mom was telling me about. Yeah, she said that. Like, because I got it sitting in the. Oh, like, yeah. No, I got I don't know how to use it though. I don't.
You go to the notes and then you start typing. You touch the
I have
letters.
notes on my phone. I can't do it.
Well, you can do it on your phone too.
Right, and then just send it to him.
Yeah. Or
I just say, hey, you write what you can read off Wikipedia about me. I'll tell you what's right or wrong, and then I'll fill in the rest. I mean, that might be the way to go.
You know what? It's your book. You do you. You do, yeah.
Sounds disappointed.
Huh?
No, I'm just, no.
No, I will get it. Yeah, all right, but not this trip. The cruise, I'm just gonna read the Heroin Diaries, not the Art of War by Shin Hu or Zhu or whatever that hard name to say. But you might like that book. It's too thick though. I'm not reading Raymond's how the galaxy was split and divided, and then I don't know what Earth would be called. And then
we need to interview Raymond one of these days.
Yeah, because Raymond is.
He's got some.
Highly convinced when I'm not going to say who I was traveling with, but they were telling me about aliens' DNA, how aliens have come down and put their DNA in all of us, like that people have been abducted, but they didn't anticipate how much we'd reproduce, and then we got too big and out of control. But like I don't know what alien Raymond would have in them. Might be a reptilian. They're meaner and like very whatever. Then there was the Greys. They're a little bit smaller. There's all these different type of aliens, and their DNA is supposedly in all of us. So somehow we're. No, I'm not saying I
don't know. I don't know what to say to that.
Hey, listen. The only thing I believe in is Bigfoot. I'm not saying there's not aliens, but when I was in Vermont, I was pretty convinced that Bigfoot existed. Like, I wasn't gonna get out there and walk in that dark forest out there. Yeah. All right. Whatever. We'll move on. Back to all right. What else, Raymond? What do you got? Help us out here. Let's get us through this last 20 minutes here. What we got to do?
So, let's talk about how WWE reached out to Stone Cold. So,
They what?
they reached out to Stone Cold to have another match. So, my question
Well,
was,
how do we know that?
that's what the note said.
Oh, that's what your note said. So you read it somewhere?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So, basically, I wanted to ask you guys, who would it make sense for Stone Cold to wrestle if he came back? Not who would you want. Who would it make sense for him to wrestle?
Would it make sense?
He already did. He wrestled what's his name? The Canadian. Kevin Owens.
Oh,
That made the most sense there.
Well, because they built that up. But why is it coming back again?
I don't know. Beat up Seth Rollins, maybe?
Edge.
No. Lead that. No. Edge, I already told you Edge is going to feud The Undertaker.
Oh, that'll be a good one.
All these emails, Raymond. None of the emails that I want.
I don't know.
I never watched enough wrestling to tell you it was going to make sense, Raymond, or where people are at. Certainly not Austin Theory. What are they doing with him? What was that Money in the Bank thing I was reading about? They had an open challenge. Then he didn't come out there in an open challenge, but then he came out and gave up his Money in the Bank and then lost. Like when he could have came out, did the open challenge and not even gave up the Money in the Bank. I don't know. It was all right. Sorry, I had to take that phone call. I don't even know if you'll have that. It's in here. It'll be edited or cut. I don't know. But the truck is ready. We're good to go.
Cool.
Got some new tires. Whatever.
All freshened up.
All freshened up. Some $265 each. Tires. When tires get so expensive. Yeah. Speaking about tires and spending money and being expensive, what's with Raymond? You said there was this new Evolution. What happened?
Evolution Pro Wrestling.
New Evolution Pro Wrestling ran a show in New York.
Yeah, over the weekend, November 12th.
And what? Promoter ran off with the money. You said?
Yeah, halfway through the show, he said he had to go to the hospital, but he actually ran off with the money. Alberto Del Rio was on there.
How do you know he didn't go to the hospital?
And he didn't pay any of the talent?
No. They ended up just having to take the rest of the money that was from the autographs. They had to split that, but it wasn't enough.
That's not cool.
Yeah, well, it happens.
Well, how do you know if he actually went to the hospital?
It didn't matter. He didn't pay them.
Well, not after the show either.
But did he go to the hospital?
We don't know. They couldn't find the guy.
Maybe he's in the hospital. Maybe he died.
Well, no.
take the
Somebody
money from
close
the
to
show?
him probably died.
Or maybe he just had it. He had to go, and it's still there, and somebody's waiting to claim it.
Defending the guy, shit.
Did the show sell out, or was the show a bust? Was it a full
I
house?
just know they finished the show for the fans.
Well, I mean, if he, I don't know the whole details of that. I mean, I know what happens. Haven't heard that happening in a long while.
Have you ever ran into, I mean, not something like that, but like some promoters that are a little, like, I guess shadier than others, or don't run
There's a
things.
saying that in wrestling I used to joke, and Luna used to say it, and I don't know where. We didn't get it from her. I mean, we both heard it from somebody, but there's a saying where they go, "I'm gonna take a promoter and wipe my booker." like
What?
Ramy, you don't get that reference? It's like taking a crap and then wiping your ass. Like, so I'm gonna take a booker, wipe the promoter, or vice versa. I'm gonna take a booker and wipe the promoter. Like, whatever. You don't get it? Well, I'm sure somebody out there got that joke. As I was saying, like, and that doesn't mean everybody is that, but promoters are, I don't know, you watch the Elvis movie, Colonel Parker, like a lot of them could be like something of that nature. They're a little bit carny, looking to make a buck off your sweat, but they do take chances and risks. They put money out up front. They do that, but when it goes bad, they got to answer for it. When it goes good, they make good for it. They do well. It's a gamble like anything. It's promoting. You're promoting stuff. You're betting on your talent you're betting on it. I believe you could draw money. And I believe that the show will work in this area, and then I get fans in there. And sometimes it doesn't work. Now that's why I asked if he drew or not. So if he drew and he had a big house and he just took off with the money, that's just horrible. Like if it was a terrible house and he didn't 6P it, proper planning prevents piss poor performance. If he didn't 6P it right and he was desperate, It's still a shitty move, but I would understand it more than running off with a full house of money. That's even more heat. Either's not good, and I'm not justifying either way. And I've been on both ends of that. I've been this is more than I can even remember, but there was one I could tell you about the Virgin Islands or something but the promoter was there and he ended up getting beat up and but I'll tell you about one where in this same situation where the promoter left halfway through the show. So I was on a show in San Diego. It was out during the San Diego Comic-Con. I can't remember the name of the show and stuff, but Chris Masters was on it, and I was living in LA, so I rode with Chris Masters. So I'm driving down there with Chris Masters. I do not smoke marijuana. I don't smoke pot. Chris Masters smokes pot, a lot of pot. I don't know if he still does or not. I mean, it's legal there. He has a medical card and all that stuff, so it's all good. Calls it medicine, I think. But he kept his windows up. So this is my poor judgment. This is why I'm giving you the build up to why I had poor judgment in my situation. Mm-hmm. So we go from LA to San Diego. And he smokes the whole way down. He wants to go walk around Comic-Con when we get there, but when I get there, I could barely walk. I've been hotboxed because the windows were up.
Hotboxed.
Yeah, so the windows were up. I was high as hell. I couldn't hardly. I'm like, what's wrong with me? I'm like, yeah. And I'm walking around like the outskirts of Comic-Con and stuff, seeing all these people dressed in costumes. I'm like, what the fuck, man? Who's that? So I'm high. Kind of tripping, but I go, wait, it was from me sitting in that car the whole time and him smoking. So it chilled the panic mode out, right? So, and then we go, there was this taco place in San Diego, but it was wrestling themed, like lucha, like with the mask and stuff like that. I can't remember the name of it, but we went and I got a couple tacos in me. Started feeling a little bit better. I'm like, okay. I'll be all right. And then I think he smoked some more. But whatever, we get to the show, and he's like, bro, Vamp, what do you think? I don't think this guy's good for nothing. I'm like, he's fine. He's like, I don't know, man. Whatever. There's not a lot of people here. This and this and that. And I'm saying it'll be all right. So he wrestles. I think he was on before me, or he might have been on after me, or whatever. But literally, he might have been on before me, and then I'm talking to the promoter right before I wrestle, and he's like, man, go have a great show and go do good. I'm like, yeah, man, thanks, cool. I didn't once, because Chris wanted to get our money up front. I didn't once think about it. I'm talking to the promoter. I go to the ring, but while I was in the ring, the promoter left. He just took off.
And didn't pay you?
Nah, he didn't pay us, no. He just took off, left the building, just disappeared, and that was it. And then Chris is like, bro, I told you, man, this guy. And he goes, well, you're the veteran, you should know. And I go, man, you had me so high from LA to San Diego, I couldn't make a judgment on anything. That's probably another reason I don't smoke weed or anything. That was just a bad decision.
And they drew well?
No, it was a rough draw. It was it was in the outskirts. He had moved venues from where he was originally the year before or something.
So he just said.
So he gambled and he lost, and I guess he didn't make money. So Chris was quick with it and went down and grabbed what was left in the box office or something, and so whatever, he grabbed that and ended up covering our gas money, and we were able to eat Jack in the Box on the way back, which I ate a lot of Jack in the Box because I was high, because he was smoking again on the way back. But that had happened. He ran off. I can't remember the promoter's name or anything. I remember X-Pac. I had said something. He put the guy on blast out there. He will. Sean X-Pac will put you on blast. But I've had promoters, and there was another guy. I think his name's David Torres in Cleveland. This guy. I didn't do the show, but he just did it to somebody else, and there was somebody else talking about it. He's done it to a few people where he advertised you on a show and then pulls you off of it. But the show and says, oh, it's not, or he just doesn't even call you back, or you don't hear from him or anything. He's out of Cleveland. David Tower, maybe, or something Tower. I need to go back to my old things, find him, and put him back on blast because he was a fucking dick. Yeah, no, and he's doing it to other people, so now it makes me think like, no, I wasn't wrong for how I felt because all the way up to 2 weeks out, I didn't have a ticket, and I would call this guy. I think it was David Tower. I think that's his name. If it's not, and I'm mixing him up with somebody else, I'm so sorry. If there's an actual David Tower, I'm mixing it up. But if he's in Cleveland, he's got that name. It's probably the same guy. I'm sure people know what I'm talking about. But I said, hey, I got a chance to do a 2-week tour.
You need to know.
Or like a week tour. I had like for a guy in like Winnipeg area. Danny, I can't think of his last name in a second, but I could have went and did like 5 or 6 shows, but his show fell in the middle of it, and it would have messed things up. Like, and he needed me for all the shows. He's like, no, we're good, bro. Blah 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 blah. And then like, so I said, I gotta get a ticket. He goes, oh, I'm getting a ticket. He never got me a ticket. I called him up. He's like, oh well, whatever he said, and so I put a post up that like buried him, and like people just like went on there, and a lot of people said he did that to me,
Cool.
And he called me up begging me like, please take that down, please take it down. And
did you?
Yeah, I took it down because like I didn't want to put negativity out there. I think it did what it did at first. And he goes, I promise you, I'll just send you a deposit. Like, well, couldn't send me the money. He told me he didn't run the show, but he ran the show. And then I just heard that he did it to somebody else. Did the same thing. They didn't miss a tour, but they missed a weekend of work because this guy said he's using them, and they went and looked at the poster, and they weren't on the poster anymore. And the guy's just a piece of work. It's definitely in Cleveland. I may be mixing the name up. I hope I'm not causing anybody else problems, but
that's definitely not cool.
I believe it was David Tower. I'm not sure. Can't swear to that. It's something like that. He was it was a Spanish guy, but it's Cleveland. He ran Cleveland. I think his name was David. I'm sure somebody will know if they listen to this, and they'll correct me or get me pointed in the right direction. And when they do, I'm gonna go back and re-put that post because like I can't remember who I was riding. It was Matt. I think it was Matt Cardona. That told me maybe I'll reach out to Matt and get that name again. I think it was Matt Cardona. I'll put this guy back on blast again because like he can't keep doing that to people. That's wrong. He's a repeat offender and a repeat offender. Maybe this guy had a mental breakdown. He just couldn't handle it and left. I don't know, but it does happen. I've been down in the Virgin Islands where this Desmond Granado guy would no, it wasn't Desmond. Oh, sorry, Desmond. It was he's passed away. I blacked his eye. Tom Casati would run these shows, and sometimes these shows didn't really exist, but he would go through the process of flying you out there because he wanted the girls on the show, Luna, Malia. And it's so weird they're both Luna, but it was one time he had a show. There was nobody in the stadium, this and that. We all flew down there, and this big Vito was like, "Gonna get my money." I'm like, Vito, we're like not in our country. We're like the Virgin Islands or somewhere. It was under some other rule. It wasn't the United States. It wasn't the U.S. Virgin Islands. It was, or whatever it was. Vito, I looked over and he had him like upside down, like trying to shake change out of his pocket. I'm like, put him down, man. We're gonna we could get in trouble. Don't let him go. He lets him go. I talk him into letting him go, saying, hey, we can't do this in another country, whatever. 5 minutes later, I see him arguing with Luna, not Vito, but Tom Casati. He just passed away not too long ago. But and he's a friend of mine. But this did happen, and whatever. I thought he shoved at her or something, and I went across the room. And I just blasted him, and I was beating him up, and I remember I got so mad I was going to pull his eye out. And I remember going to reach his eye, and it was like this guy called Kodiak Bear. I think Raven might have been there. But they were trying to keep me from grabbing it. I was like, and the next thing you know, all the police were around me with like machine guns going, we'll shoot you, mother. We'll shoot you. So that got my attention really quick. They took me up to the empty stadium where there was no fans, because this was down in like would have been like a dressing room, like a baseball dressing room or something. It was in a stadium. And they're like, we'll shoot you. You can't do that and whatever, with their accent. I think it was the Virgin Islands, but not the U.S. Virgin Islands. The other. I'm like, wherever it was, we landed in like a sugarcane field. It was in an island. I just can't remember where it was.
You always go straight for the eyes.
Yeah, unfortunately. But so they talked to me, and I'm like, yeah, man, I'm cool. It's all good. Like I just lost my temper for a minute, and so we go back downstairs, and poor Tom Casati never got up from that position. Luna attacked him like an octopus, had a rear choke on him, was biting him on his head, just choking him, just beating him. And what did the police do, or the military, whatever they were? They were police, but they looked like military. They started laughing. I'm like, she is doing more damage to him than I did. He's been down here this whole time, mauling this guy, and they started laughing. They thought it was funny that a woman was beating the shit out of this guy. And poor Tom. Seeing him a week later, his face was swole shut. He's in rougher shape than you were. Than you are. Yeah, he's a little rough. But he was out managing the show. Hey, David, how are you? Just like nothing ever happened. And, like, poor Tom. But it happens. And, they handle things a little different in the older school days. The older wrestlers, they'll hunt a guy down and pull a gun on him. And they'll beat him to death, this and that. But this is a different generation. You wouldn't think that stuff happens now. You're definitely not going to get away with it with the social media and people with podcasts like this. And Like, I definitely think Raymond, I should do a whole episode about that guy in Cleveland. I got to go find the name and get the name right. If it's David Tower or David Torres. I should remember it, but when whoever was talking about it, I think it might have been Cordon. I go, oh, I know that guy. And that same shit happened to me. And, like, so now I think he really needs to be really, like, maybe you should start policing people on here. I'm not the police, but maybe start going out and calling some of these bad promoters out. Like, because it's really, like, it's like pro wrestling's busted bones and broken homes. So, like, on the indie level, you either are trying to make it or you've been somewhere and you're gracefully trying to fall back down, but you're still just trying to do what you love. You don't really need people taking advantage of you. Like, you've already paid the price in one way or another. Whether you're coming up, you're paying the price, or whether you're going down, you paid the price, and you're just still hanging on. But, I mean, you know, look, you see how I walk, the knees and things, and we do it for love, much like the rodeo. You know, it's in our blood. It's what we love. It's what we're gonna do. Probably gonna do it anyways, even if there wasn't a dime to be made. But you certainly don't need people just taking advantage of you and just basically just treating you, you know, like just using you up, like just putting you out on the street and getting everything out of you and just beating you when you don't like it, you know, whatever. However you want to look at it. You just don't need people taking advantage of you. So it does happen, and in this day and age, you wouldn't think it would happen, like I said, with all the social media and all the outlets, which I guess not. It's out there, and I'm sure this guy probably never show his face again unless he makes good on some stuff. But it's unfortunate. It's sad, but it is a part of any business, anywhere, any type of stuff. You know, even happened to Elvis. And I know you like Johnny Cash. You're not big of an Elvis guy.
No, I mean, I do like Elvis. Like, I like his music, but definitely more of a Johnny Cash.
Raymond's gonna tell you that Elvis stole his music.
That, and that Johnny Cash is racist.
Johnny Cash was racist?
You
don't know who Johnny Cash is.
Probably.
He doesn't know who Johnny Cash is. Don't say that. That's
embarrassment. You should be embarrassed. I'm embarrassed for you.
Johnny Cash? You don't know Johnny Cash? The guy in the middle fingers, Johnny Cash. Walk the Line.
Walk the Line's such a good movie.
Ring of Fire. No.
We have a lot of great movies.
Folsom.
No.
Folsom. Yeah. Okay. All right, Raymond. I think I've done all I can do today. I've one-twoed it. I bobbed and weaved. I bluffed my way through. So we're gonna have to wrap this episode up.
I think you did good.
All right. Well, I don't know. I feel like I'm out of touch and out of tune, not really watching wrestling and stuff, but rambling on here. So that was so. Thank you, Anna, for being on here, filling in for old Ariel. I think he's in Nashville. Epilepsy Awareness Month. Wear your purple, support. Go out, get educated. You can reach out to. You know, Anna, quickly, do you want to close it out? I know we got that other thing. Oh, we don't have to worry. Whoa, hey, what's going on? The bouncers come in and say, you got to go. Yeah, you got to go. You got to go. All right, everybody. Want some? What do you say, Rex? Get some?
Get some.
Bad enough?
Take some.
All right, that's episode 65 of FANGIN Bang with Gangrel. See you, Rex.
Want some, get some, bad enough, take some.